Okay, so now it's 12:07, May 31st. So it's a.m. in the morning, people. 2019. I just took them out of the canner. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. Right. So now I'm going to finish it because that broth is just too good to pass up. It's really, really good. And I wanted to do some more peas, so I took a bag of, whoops, sorry, wandering eye, getting tired. A bag of peas, Green Giant, that are defrosting. So I'm going to do the rest of the chicken with peas and this broth. Hold on. Okay, I don't have this plugged in right now. Oops. And I got it very low. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just finishing up with this stuff. I'm doing equal parts, actually, pretty much right now. I did 3 tablespoons of heaping peas in these little jars that I have. I don't know. I can't remember if I showed you or not. You have to remember, I'm washing everything as I'm going, people. I'm the only one doing this, if you notice that, eh? Only me. Right? What's going to happen to Amari when I'm gone, people? What's he going to be eating then? You know. So anyway, I wash all the jars, you know. I wash all the dishes as I go. Right? These little jars, I want to put more broth in them. I want more broth. I don't want as much chicken or as much peas. I want more of the broth because Amari likes the broth. Right? That's why I tried to make it tasty. Right? So these little jars, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill them up first with the broth, but it might take up all the broth, so I don't know. What I want and what I get are two different things here, because more than anything, I just want to finish up this chicken. So, but I figure if I fill up this jar, these jars first, with mostly chicken and just a little bit of peas, I should still have a fair amount of, what do you call it, liquid left for these other little jars. If I had more peas, I'd be adding more peas, but I only had one bag because I used the first bag with the first batch that I did. All right? So what I'm going to do now, it's my little kitchen counter. It's not very big. It's kind of like, you know, I don't even have a porch. So what I'm going to do now is before I fill up the jars too much with this chicken, I'm going to do the same thing like I did before, because I don't want everything being compact down. I want the peas to kind of spread around a bit. So I'm going to start taking this. Oh yeah, there's lots of broth here, people. There's lots of broth. So I'm going to just start filling up the jars halfway per jar, and then I'm going to take the chopstick and I'm going to move things around a little bit, and then I'm going to add more chicken. Right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and distribute this pretty much evenly throughout the whole thing. So it's about 12:30 at night now, so I probably won't get to sleep till about 3 in the morning. Right? You know what I mean? But it was worth it in the end, because this is really tasty stuff. This is exactly what I want. And I don't have to be in the kitchen all the time to get it now. It's very convenient now, right? It's just, my thing is, Tisha's not showing an interest. It's not her style. You know, I can't get mad at her if it's not her style. Now, mind you, she's still young. right? When you're young, your priorities are a little different, right? She's got the one child. She hasn't even started in life yet. This is what she doesn't realize, right? So I don't know. Oh yeah, lots of broth here. There's lots. So I actually might get what I want here, people. This would be great. I'm going to fill up these little jars now with mostly broth. I want mostly broth in these ones. This is what I want. Oh, and this broth is so good. So good. So good that I want to make it again. Yeah, I do. I could drink the broth just by itself in a cup. That's how good it is. Right. And it's very, very, very nutritional too. And that's what Amari needs. Right. So, hold on. I'll let you know what I get done here. Okay, so this is it. As you can see, it's mostly broth. Okay, I'm going to can those ones as is like that. Alright, this one's got more chicken in it. And, oops, sorry. There we go. Right. So I'm going to can those ones just like that, with a little bit of peas and chicken and the beef broth. Right? And then this one here has more peas, just a little bit of chicken with a lot of beef broth. Now, the only thing, people, that I did wrong, and these ones, are going to have to be extra careful with them, because what I should have done is I should have strained the stock after I took out the bones, because what I'm getting, do you hear that? I think I caught them, but you know, when you get to the bottom of the pot, so in other words, there might be bones in there and I just don't see them. So when you when you open them, that's the first thing that we're going to have to look for before we give it to anybody, right? So outside of that, these are delicious. Like, so good. It has the beef marrow in there from the bones. It has, you know, when you cook a beef bone, all that, you know, just around the bone itself, like the gristle and all that, it has that in there. It has the, you know, the proper fats in there. It's so tasty. Little bit of chicken, you know, there's a little bit of chicken fat. You can see it right there. That's chicken fat, right? That's the stuff that's good for Amari. Because he doesn't get it like if you were to go and have a chicken meal, right? You know what I mean? And not only that, but it's what's in the liquid that counts. So outside of the bone situation, you know, I'm tired, people. I got razzed again today, you know. So anyway, this is for a sandwich tomorrow, and then I'm going to try and maybe use that chicken grease, and we'll see if we can make some French fries. Hold on. So, before I finish and get these in the canner, I just want to say that I took the spoon and I scraped the pot. That's how good it is. And putting the tarragon in there was the right thing to do. Seriously, it tastes so good. So now I'm going to clean the jars, and because they're little jars, they're half pints. 75 minutes is probably too long, because you would do 75 minutes in a pint. So, just for the sake of whatever, I'm going to do it for 50 minutes, right? I think 50 minutes, or even 60 minutes. I'll do it for 60 minutes, right? Or I can just stay up for the extra 15 minutes and do it for 75 minutes. And the only thing I'd ever have to worry about at this point would be the looking for a bone. Okay, so I like this broth so much that I think I'm going to do this again in about a month from now. Only next time I'm going to strain the liquid after I take out the bones. Right? Then I'm going to do all that stuff. Then I'm going to put it in there. Because if you noticed, I touched everything to make sure there was no bones in there, but I forgot that. But that's what stress does to you. Right? But that's okay, you know. I told Tisha, even with the chicken, as hard as you try, you know, you'd be as careful as you can. I said, even with the chicken, with just the chicken broth, I said, you know, you make sure you check for bones before you just put it in something, heat it up, and give it to the babies, right? You got to check everything, just because it's sometimes just a little chicken bone like that, right? As hard as you try not to have it there, you know, those little buggers, they can sneak themselves in. Well, anyway, it's okay. I'm a little rusty. Just going into the season now. Whoa. Just going into the season now, right? So, right. But I'm going to do this again in a month from now. I really like it. Right? In terms of this broth is really good. Okay. See? Just finger tight, nothing more, nothing less. This one here, I'm going to put in the fridge, and I'm going to warm that up for Amari. And of course, before I warm it up, I'm going to check for any bones, right? As I'm making those French fries. So, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that one in the fridge and cook that up for Amari tomorrow and see what he thinks of it. Okay, so this is like May 31st, right? 2019, the next day. So anyway, I really like this one. I like it so much, people, that I am going to do this again in a couple, 2-3 weeks. I'm buying some really beautiful, beautiful beef bones. I'm going to buy some, well, actually, I probably got some in my freezer. I'm going to look for them. Short ribs. I'm going to really enrich this broth, right? Whoops, sorry, there I go again. I'm really going to enrich this broth the next time I cook this and make it so that we have that gelatin, right? This just came out of the fridge now. This one was in the fridge. It looks like it might have gelled a little, a little bit. It's not moving as fast, right? If you can see that, right? Where this one is moving around fast, you can see. So this one is partly gelled. So this is what I want for Amari, okay? So hold on a minute. Okay, so this is what I had in the fridge, right? So this is what we're going to give him now. So some grease is good, right? You got to have that fat in your diet. That's why in famine times, when there's nothing to eat, people will eat people because they need the protein. I know there's people out there that say, oh, I've never eaten any kind of protein in all my life, and I'm a vegetarian, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. It's not that much of a debate. So, now, here's the mistake I made. Remember what it was? I was so upset when I came in and started working with the whatever, took out the bones. I forgot to strain the broth. So that means there could be bones in here. Right? So, I'm going to have to take my time with this. Hold on. Okay, so what you do is you drain out the juice, you know, take out a little bit of, right, and just go through it. You know, it's like anything, right? If it's a small child, you'd have to go through it anyway. Where if you ate it, you know, you'd be able to chew, and if you came across something, it wouldn't be an issue, even at Andre's age. But for a young child, you know, this is what you should do. Especially if a mistake was made, and I made that mistake, and I caught it, though. That's the thing. So the next time I do it, I'll be more consciously aware to make sure I strain it, which is what I normally do. But I was under stress, and so I wasn't paying attention. It had nothing to do with haste makes waste, but it kind of was, because I was, by that point, just wanting to get on with it. Where I didn't have the directions in front of me to make sure that I didn't forget any of them. There we go. See? No worse for wear. Now hold on a minute. Okay, so we're just imagining here. Look how nice that's melting in there, people. Now, because it's a lot of broth, right? So you see this is a little bit of rice. I'm going to put it in there. Because technically, when you open this kind of stuff, any kind of meat or whatever, even vegetables, right? From a can that's been pressure canned. Like a jar, sorry. That's been pressure canned. What do you call it? You have to boil this for 10 minutes anyway. So if you're boiling, right, you see how I put the little bit of rice in there? It will swell. And then it's, right, I could probably add a little bit more rice. And then once it comes to a boil, you can see, right? And in terms of beef, like if instead of chicken, if this was beef in here, beef is it's a meat that's really hard to digest. And so, stewing it is good, right? So now that you've done that, you just turn it down. And it just needs to low boil. You don't have to boil like that. That's too much. By the time 10 minutes goes by, there will be nothing left, right? But you bring it to a boil, and then you turn down the heat. You have your rice in there, or potato, or sliced carrot, or whatever you want, whatever's on hand. You could have a tomato in there. Beef and tomato go good. Right? Remember, there's tarragon. You can smell the tarragon, right? Because it's infused right into the liquid, right? So next time I go out, I'm going to buy some nice beef bones. I'm going to buy some fresh tarragon. And I'm going to do this again. And I'm going to look for my short ribs and those types of things. And you're going to see what I'm going to make next. I like the peas, right? If I had more time, I would have had just a few kernels of, corn, right? Because corn is another thing hard to digest, but, Amari can eat corn every now and then, so I try and put it in his foods, right? So that when I feed him, I give him like a spoonful of peas, oh, here's some corn, but I kind of mix it up, but I don't blend it up, so it's all just one big mud. I don't give him mud food, people. I try and feed him like as if you and I would want to eat, right? The way we like to eat. We like to mix up our flavors. Sometimes it's nice just to have, 4 bites of carrot and then move into potato, right? But when you're working in such small portions, you're standing and you're cutting and, it takes you a half an hour just to make one little small bowl of food because you're chopping everything up, right? This just makes it a bit more convenient, plus it's more nutritional. And I'm going to make it even more nutritional by bringing in the short ribs as I cook up those big beef bones. But always, always remember to strain your broth, okay? So now do you see? So that's a low boil. Right? The stove is on 4.5. So as long as it's going like that, it's cooking the rice and it's cooking. So this is good. Okay, actually, I haven't been timing it because I'm going more now on what's going on with the rice here, right? And as it's cooking, you can see the liquid is going down. So if you want, you could put a little more water in there. Or, in this case, obviously the rice is absorbing some of the water, right? And I'm mashing the peas. You can see that, right? So what I was thinking is, if, just in light of that I didn't strain it, right? When I use this in a year from now, let's just use this for an example. And I come along and I pour it in a bowl and I looking around for the bones, and then I put it in a pot, and I go around and I touch everything. Right? What is better? When it's a year old, open it up, put it in there. But no, the point of this, people, technically, is to eat it up within the month. Right? I am trying to bring this into Amari's diet 2 to 3 times a week. Doesn't have to be that, but something different. That it's giving those body fats, that is lubricating the stomach, that's helping to digest food, all these other things, providing nutrients, versus relying on something like this or whatever that is, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so as I'm stirring here, well, not stirring, but cooking, I'm going about just trying to break up the peas a little bit, right? And as you can see, the water is going down, the liquid. Right? I'm just going to add a bit more water. I'll make it some too. Right? So you adjust the water as you need it. With that little bit of water, let's see what it tastes like now. Still rich in broth. And then heat it up. Right? When you're ready to serve it. And then you just, I'm going to do it now, but you take, this here is seaweed. Just a little bit for salt. See? So, I've taken it off the stove now. Right? Amari's having a bath. So he'll have that when he gets out. And so will me. So I'm going to put that over top of it. And the rice will continue to cook. And yeah. I think that worked out pretty good, people. Okay, so it's been resting now for 10 minutes. Right? Off the stove, but it's still warm. So I am going to take a bite. It's pretty good. Myself, personally, I'd want just a bit more of that. But I think this is perfect for a small child. Okay, people, so Amari's the taste tester here. He likes to taste things first before he actually gets. If he really likes it, he starts to say, good, good. Mm.
You like it, Amari?
Looking at it. Just make sure it's not too hot.
Yeah,
just came out of the pot. Oh yeah, look at that, people. Look at that. It's good, eh? Good, huh? What did Nana do? Ooh, he likes to eat. Good. Oh.
You get those chewing skills.
Yeah. Yes, you are too, aren't you? You see him chewing, eh, people? There we go. Good. It's a winner, people. Thumbs up. Yay! Did Alea May have some already?
Yeah, she tried it.
Oh, okay.
She's waiting.
She's waiting.